Hello and welcome along to the Tackling Sport podcast. It's Daniel Hussey here, and I suppose a special kind of video and some bite-sized podcast for yourselves. I'm delighted to welcome Aoife Wade, who plays for Whitehall, Colmcille's football and Camogie. Aoife, welcome to the podcast.
Hiya, thanks for having me.
No worries at all, Aoife. And I suppose before I kind of introduce you to listeners, I guess I might just read out a tweet that you put out during the week, just kind of explain why you're on the show here. So it reads, I can't wait to play a Camogie Championship final at 2:30 on this Sunday, as well as a league football game at 3 p.m. the same day. The complete disregard of dual players by the LGFA and Camogie Association continues. So do you want to maybe give listeners a little bit of background into how this circumstances have come about?
Yeah, sure. So basically the way our calendar works for the majority of the year is you play football on a Wednesday and you'll play Camogie on a Thursday. We have to incorporate training in on top of that. So we actually train on a Monday as well. We do 45 minutes of Camogie and then 45 minutes of football straight after. It does take a toll mentally and physically that you've that workload. Girls with full-time jobs as well, it's crazy. So then it was huge in the media last year. You heard of the Care girls, they'd play two county finals within 26 hours. It's crazy stuff. But that's a problem all year round for all girls all over the country. But then this thing with the final now on Sunday, so they recently changed all the fixtures to Sundays for both Camogie and ladies football, just due to the light on the sky. But there's no communication between the two associations. So I've heard of, friends from other clubs, they're in the same situation with dual players. They're all teams that can't field, they're given walkovers. So now we're in a situation where that final's at 2:30 football match. It's a league game that's at 3:00. I don't know what they expect us to do in that situation. Yeah. It's looking likely that we'll have to concede that game. We went to the county board, asked them what we could do about it. They said you'd have to agree to refix that match with your opponent. We went to them. They said, look, we understand the position you're in, but if we change this game, we're going to have 3 matches in 8 days. And that's crazy as well. You can't be asking that of other girls. And as well, we're already refixing matches for under lights. So we've final now on Sunday. We have another football game fixed for next Wednesday. We're expected to play another football game that Sunday as well. So it's just crazy. And there's no player welfare there.
Yeah, so obviously in the summer, so the football matches were Wednesday and the Camogie matches were Thursday, so you were playing consecutively, and that's throughout the summer, and that's only recently changed with the light and stuff.
Yeah, that's the norm, is that it's 2 nights in a row. And
I can't believe
you look at the way the men's setup is with the alternate weeks, you're like, why can't this work for girls? I know we choose to play the sport and we love playing both sports, we choose to do it, but it is so tiring to go out and put yourself through that. And I just feel we're asking for the bare minimum here.
Yeah, well, just to explain to listeners, so we both play in Dublin, so it's probably going to be centralized in Dublin, but there's split weekends. So there's for myself, who's a dual player, it's hurling one weekend championship and then football championship the next weekend, hurling championship, football championship, and that's the same throughout the league. And even they spare out the Tuesdays and Thursdays we play. So you're always alternate weeks and weekends. And that obviously comes because it's the one county board. And the problem for those who are not aware, obviously, that there's 2 different associations here. And it doesn't seem like people are talking here much to each other, or it just seems like these things are constantly cropping up. And that you mentioned the car example in Tipperary as well. There's just so many examples where player welfare is just not being followed despite all this stuff they might preach in the media.
Yeah, and even I know they've introduced alternate weeks in Dublin for underage girls. But if you're able to do that at underage, let's look at doing it for adults, because you know the models there with the men's that it can work. We play league, cup and championship. I don't see why you can't do league and championship, and you can do the alternate weeks, cut out some of the fixtures and make it work. It's just a matter of people communicating and people acknowledging there's so many girls around the country that play both sports. And if you want to keep girls in both sports, you have to accommodate them and facilitate them, because you can't go out and give 100% 2 nights in a row. I remember we had a nutritionist in to talk to us during lockdown, to both of our senior teams in Whitehall. And one of the girls put the question to him, how do you recommend that we prepare for like 2 matches on the trot in a row. And he basically said you'd want to be like feeling your body as if you're going out to play a marathon. Like, you can't ask girls to be doing that, you know, like week in, week out.
Yeah.
So it's just crazy.
Well, like when I kind of like got a bit more information about it, and obviously the tweet highlights the final and the league match clashing, but I think it's even more shocking the Wednesdays and Thursdays, because I wasn't aware of that. Like, our club only just recently started a women's team and we play on Wednesdays, but I didn't realize that if you want to be a dual player, you have to play camogie on Thursday. This is obviously in Dublin, or Tuesday, like you mentioned. So like 2 days in a row, like I know I'm struggling if I'm to do the hurling train as well. We have to do like 3 nights in a row, and it just doesn't work. Like, and for those that don't play and don't realize, like, consecutive nights isn't a thing. It shouldn't be a thing, but that's training, like, and that's one thing. But to do back-to-back matches at a decent level, it just beyond. I can't get my head around it anyway.
And that's just the way it's always been. Like, that's just the norm. So it's only now when it comes to this Sunday that it's like we physically cannot be in 2 places at once, that you're like, something needs to be done. But something needs to be done regardless with the whole Wednesday Thursday thing, because that's wrong too.
Yeah. And your own club then, so you said in the message to me there's 24 dual players?
Yeah, 24 dual players. So like, we'd be a small enough club, small enough women's side as well. But yeah, there'd be a lot of us playing both. That's across, we've like 2 camogie adult teams and 2 football teams.
Yeah, and one thing I would say, like, because I know when my club was starting out, like league is often kind of, you know, championship is everything, is the kind of GA way. But like for my club anyway, for a few years, we were purely focused on the league because we wanted to get through the division. So I know there might be 1 or 2 people looking at it going, well, look, you'd obviously play the championship final 100%, but that's, first of all, not the point. They're clashing. But secondly, league matches could be everything to one club and not to another. And the fact that there's walkovers now involved because there's clashes, because the 2 associations aren't talking here, it's a bit of a farce. And
yeah, that's the thing. Like, this football match that we have, it's not necessarily like a crucial game, but like, we want to play it. We want to, like, and for your first team to be going out and conceding games, like, it's not good luck, and like, it's nothing we can do. Like, the girls want to play, and if we could, we would, but you're just not being facilitated, and it's disappointing. And we can talk about it, and like, it can come up in the media like the way it has, and like, it will continue to do so because it doesn't look like it's going to change. Like, the conversations need to be happening within the associations, and clubs need to be stepping up and letting themselves be heard, so like, this can change, because girls can't go on like doing this.
Yeah, like, and the last thing I'll say on this, like, I know, like, on this podcast now, I have mentioned the LGFA, and some of the promotion of like All-Ireland finals in previous seasons, attendance has been very good, but like, this is always kind of the thing that's kind of let them down at times, is the player welfare thing. And whatever's happening between the LGFA and Camogie Association, who are obviously part of the GA, there has to be some forward thinking that at some point the 2 associations will merge, or at the very least talk to each other and come up with some sort of master fixture plan. Because it's important to say that it isn't easy to come up with these master fixture plans, but there are templates in place. For example, all I have to do is look at the Dublin GA County Board, which I've been playing a lot for the last 10 years. And by and large, it's been very good in my experience anyway. Surely there's a way to do this with the LGFA and Camogie Association.
Yeah, definitely. And like, the last thing any of the girls that come out and speak about this want to do is come out and like bash either association. Like, utmost respect for all volunteers that are involved in like all these associations, but like, if you want these games to progress, and if you want to encourage girls to stay in sport, when you have girls going out and playing these matches and this like burden on girls, like matches just come and taken fast, you've trained on top of that, burnout comes into play, and girls will just walk away completely. So, you know, we just want it to be better, to be honest. Like,
yeah, and Aoife, finally, to live on a lighter term, you're looking forward to the intermediate camogie final anyway.
Yeah, no, we're buzzing for it now. Have our last puck round now tomorrow evening, so hopefully get the win, and it will put a bit of light on all of this.
Well, listen, the very best of luck. We wish you well from Tackling Sport. For those listening to the video, do give it a like and comment if you want to get a game more traction. And if you are interested in any of our content, do subscribe to the YouTube channel. But for now, Aoife, thanks a million for coming on the podcast.
Thanks, man, for having me.